Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a sew with me to make a lunch bag. This is going to be the least aesthetic video ever. I'm literally going to take you with me on how I am making this bag. It's a pattern that I'm making up, so it's a free pattern if you guys want to try it at home, and I will be putting information on how I do everything on screen or in the comments depending on what it is. I haven't made this before, so we're winging it together. We'll see what happens, and yeah, hopefully it turns out really cute and hopefully I love it. What inspired me to do this is I have this old sweatshirt which was my husband's, and I tie-dyed it for him a while ago, but there's a little stain on the front and we couldn't get it out. So I thought I really like the fabric and I really want to use it for something, so I was like brainstorming what I could do, and I thought that I could make my friend a little lunch bag for work. Basically I have used this as a lunch bag before, and it's just a good size to put like your lunchbox, a bottle, snacks, I don't know, whatever she might want to take with her. And I thought, why not make it in this cute pattern? And I'm thinking as well I can put like an E on the front for her name. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm, like I say, winging it. These are the measurements that you'll need, so I'll just leave them on screen for a minute so that you can see. Please bear in mind that I am not an expert, so these are like rough measurements. Okay, so I have cut out the side pieces as well. I'm just laying it out like this so you can see like how it's done. So I'm going to be sewing along here and then sewing these two pieces together. The next step is to sew down here to attach the sides. So I've just pinned them right sides together and I'm just sewing down. Okay, next I have pinned this. So here is the base sewing that you will have just done. You're then gonna like twist the side so that it matches as best you can, and pin up there so it'll create that base on the bottom. It's not the neatest thing I've ever done, so if yours isn't the neatest thing ever, that's also fine. I think on this one I sewed a little bit close to the edge, so it's making that turn a little bit harder. So I would recommend not going to the very edge when you're sewing your base, just to give you that extra room. If anyone here is an experienced sewer and you have any like recommendations, let me know, because I've tried to research how to sew the base of a bag and I'm just not finding anything of that is actually any use. So yeah, I'm going with this. Very much a beginner, but yeah, if you know what to do and you have any tutorials, give me a shout. But yeah, I've pinned that like that, so as you can see it creates a base. What I'm going to do is make this the main body, like the outside, and then I'm going to make the lining after that, and then I'm going to do the handles and sew it all together like that. So yeah, I'm going to sew up these now. Right, one side is done. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's turned out quite well. Yeah, so happy with that. Going to do the other side now. Okay, so I have made the main like bag. I think that because it's a little bit like unstructured, I'm gonna actually use the sweatshirt again to line it, because I think it'll just be a little bit more like stiff and might sit up better. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a step up for the side pieces, but I was worried that they would be too small, so I'm just going to trim that. So I'm going to remake the exact same thing again. I think that it's worked out really well. I really like the shape of the bag. I think looks really nice. So yeah, I'm going to remake the exact same, so the lining will actually be the same. I'm going to do that, and then I will start putting it together. I'm gonna put it together as you would like a normal lining. I'll show this, but then I think I'm gonna top stitch around to try and give it that structure. And I also need to cut out the handles. So yeah, got that to do next. Okay, so I have laid out here the base with the sides pinned. I just measured to the middle of this piece and the middle of this piece, and then just pinned them right there. So I'm going to sew along here, then I will twist and sew up here for both sides. I've also cut out and pinned the handles, so I literally just cut out them as rectangles, folded them in half, and I pinned them. I'm going to sew them with a 1 centimetre seam allowance and then turn them inside out. At this stage you should have 2 like bag shapes and 2 handles. I'm just going to press all of my seams just to make it nice and neat. And I have found that the second one did work better using the exact measurements that I put on the screen, so definitely use them. And another top tip would be, when you're sewing the base on, don't go to the end. Give yourself whatever your seam allowance for your side pieces is going to be. So like, you know, 1.5 centimeters I think I did here. Just stop there and it just makes the corners much neater. So top tip for that one. At this stage you should put any design that you want to on the front. So I have done an E for my friend. I've just used felt and I've used the sewing machine to sew this on because I'm not very neat with hand sewing. But you could do anything here. You could do like embroidery, you could do patches, whatever you want to do. You could do it at the end, but it just means that doing it this way, all of the stitching will be on the inside, like through your lining if you do it after this step. So I'd recommend doing it now. To sew it together, you're going to put the handles in at the same time as you're doing the lining. So this measurement is 8 centimeters and this is about 11. So long as you're roughly in that area. I have pinned these with about 2 centimeters like step up. I'm hoping that this is going to work, but yeah, I'm planning that I'm going to pin them that way so that when it's out it will look like this. And then I'm going to pin the lining. So I'm going to pin the handles first and then the lining. Next step, you basically just put the bag right sides together with the handles facing down. And what I'm going to do, because it's quite thick fabric, I'm going to leave a whole side open for turning out. And then I'm going to top stitch across the whole thing anyway, so it'll still get closed. But yeah, I'm going to just sew all around here and then turn it out with this space. This has actually worked out really well. I think this looks so cute. I'm so glad that I didn't throw this fabric away. I've just popped the lining in at the moment, and as I mentioned, I used one of those sides for turning out. So what I'm gonna do is just like pin it to be a bit more flat, and then I'm gonna top stitch along the whole thing. But I think this is so cute. I think you could also do this and make like a full tote. She could honestly use this as a bag. If you wanted to make this as a full tote, you would just need to make this longer. I don't know how much, maybe double if you wanted to make it, yeah, like a bit deeper. But yeah, I think, you know, this is all the fabric that I was working with, but you could definitely make a full tote with this. So before you top stitch, I would recommend trimming your seams. I didn't do this and it meant that I had to, well, my needle broke and then I had to buy new needles, which stunted my time a little bit. So I'd recommend trimming before, because these ones here get quite bulky. So yeah, I would recommend trimming, and that makes that easier, but that's it finished. I think it would be really nice to do a longer version as well. I think this is really cute for what I planned to do, like the little lunchbox, but I do think you could make a full bag. And also if you had like a sweatshirt with a print on it that you just didn't wear anymore but you really liked, then you could, you know, use that and it makes a really cute tote bag. I think with these bits on the side as well, it just gives it a little bit more structure. But yeah, really happy with how this came out. Hope you guys liked this sew with me. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments.